everybody. Welcome to the Bridle Club podcast.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Katrina.
I'm really excited. This is our first episode.
Yeah.
First time doing a podcast, right?
Yes.
You've been a guest on a podcast.
I have not.
No, okay.
You?
And I, the audacity of us to start a podcast. Doing it days ago, literally 2 days ago. We're like, it's a podcast.
Yes. I mean, you were the brains behind the operation, and I was very quick to get on board because I absolutely loved the idea. So we really just wanted to have a forum for adult amateurs, or really riders in general, to feel like they belong, and an area where we can have guests of all kinds that can offer insight and education for anyone looking to improve their skill set, learn more so that they can better their riding, better their horsemanship skills, better their horses, and really have a place where they can come to find resources.
Totally. Yeah. I really think immersing yourself in the sport. We were talking about how not just when you're in the saddle, because there's only so much time that you get to be in the saddle, and that learning can kind of continue on when you find podcasts that you really love. Like I know I have a few that I tune into, and it's really fun to have the opportunity to talk to people and then to share that knowledge with others.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think podcasts are such a unique format in that we can dig into so many different topics, and we can bring you, our listeners, so many different experts to help you on your journey. And, it really gives us the opportunity to have access to people that you wouldn't necessarily hear from otherwise, gain perspective and points of view that you wouldn't necessarily see or hear. And even with our social media, the algorithms tend to be so hyper focused on what you generally already look at. So quite often what I notice is that people don't know what they don't know.
So true.
And there's so many, I refer to them as blind spots that we all have in every aspect of life. But with horses, there's just so much to know. And the more we can educate ourselves, the better prepared we are to deal with things as they come our way.
Totally. Yeah. And I love that exposure to new things through different sources. Like it's sometimes a podcast that gets you out of your algorithm. Like you're saying, gets you out of your algorithm and actually into something that you don't know or someone you don't know. I love just like being introduced to new people. And then you want to follow them on social media and you can learn so much more.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all just about creating those new avenues that we can go down on our horse journey. Because I don't know about you, but I feel like for myself and for a lot of the other horse people I meet, we're still just that little girl inside that just loves horses and wants to know everything about horses. And it can be easy to stagnate a little sometimes, either in our riding or, sometimes the stress and pressure of life in conjunction with all of the demands of riding and, the expense of the sport. Sometimes that can become really heavy. So I think it's nice to immerse yourself in the learning side sometimes, because it allows us to switch our brains into a different direction and gain kind of stimulation in new areas that can help reinvigorate passion if we're struggling at any point in time.
Totally. Do you want to talk about our riding history? Like, when did you start riding? And I don't even know this.
I was going to say,
want to hear this.
When
did you start?
So I started riding when I was 10. And I was dying to ride. Like, my sister is older than I am, and she started riding before I did, and my mom would not let me start until I was 10. And so I would go to the barn with my sister every time she went, and I would do it. I was just such a little barn rat, and I just wanted to be there all the time. And then finally, when I was 10, I was able to start riding. And so I predominantly did hunter jumper, and then over the years, got into assistant coaching and then coaching. And then got out of that and then kind of got back into it. And, then really had an interest in dressage and kind of doing multidiscipline training, just to be a more well-rounded rider and have a more well-rounded horse. And then I got into saddle fitting. And so it's been quite an interesting road. So it has been about 10 years since I started saddle fitting. And, started off.
That's a long time. We talked about that before. Turnover in the industry and how it is a challenging job, and to stay in it for so long because you see so much and how horses change and people change. And so, so that's been really fascinating, just seeing how much,
even just knowledge within the industry has shifted. You know, and one of the things that we'll get into in future episodes, but I'm so passionate because I see so much about educating people. So for me, when you proposed the idea of doing a podcast, I was like, this is fabulous, because I think sometimes, you know, we need information, but our coaches don't necessarily have it. And our vets don't necessarily take the time to share it because they're busy. And, you know, then you're limited in terms of what you have access to on social media. But for me, what I see consistently is a lot of people who just don't have the knowledge they need to solve the problems that are in front of them. And this kind of gives us an outlet to help provide that for people.
Totally.
Yeah. So how about you? I don't think I know your full writing story either.
That's right. No, I started writing when I was 6 years old. My sister really wanted to write. It was funny, but it was sort of just after I started writing, and my mom was like, no, you know, like, this is Megan's thing. I mean, it's an expensive sport too. So I struggled for that as a kid. It's like, it's the expensive sport. We got to do this for your siblings. And like, just me, I have a younger brother and older sister. And so it was just me that was writing. Yeah, and we lived right near the barn, like so close within walking distance. It was really cool. I grew up in Ontario, in Brampton, and there's a subdivision we were in, and there was just a farm like just right up the road from our block of homes. And so it was really cool. I got to just walk up, and I was a barn rat. Like, I was there all the time.
It's just a dream.
Yeah, right? It's like I'm 12 years old and I was riding more. Yeah, and then I just took lessons. I was doing hunter jumper then, but like at a very low level, not really competitive. I didn't have any type of competitive like junior riding career. I only learned about all of that like in the last few years, that's a thing, that like there's juniors and there's this whole stage that they go through and how competitive it is. And oh my goodness, I was just lucky if I could stay on course. It's like I was just
I'm still lucky if I could stay on course in anything.
I will say I am a lot better at that now, because that is one thing where it's like it was a chip on my shoulder, because when I was a kid I just didn't understand how to learn memorize courses. And now it's not an issue for me, but I think it's that panic when you're younger and you just have no idea what you're doing, and then that fear makes you forget where you are, forget what you're doing, forget where you're going. And then you get over that with practice. But even as an adult, which is really cool, like doing it as a kid, it's different when you do it as an adult, right? And you just go take a deep breath, and you don't have that perspective when you're a kid.
It's so true.
I was just going off course, but I was showing, and it was really fun. But I always wanted more. You know, my parents were like, this is an expensive sport. You're gonna have to, and that's where they said, you're going to have to, you know, get a job in something that's going to allow you to afford this sport. I went down the path of sales and marketing. I went to school for that, and I chose career first. And then was going to ride later, and that's my plan. And if, you know, I really put it off, and now this is like the year that I'm really fully immersing myself in it, which has been really exciting. I have a lease horse, and he's fantastic. And I mean, you helped me with my saddle, which is great. Which is how we met.
Yeah, and it's been so cool to see your journey. And, you know, really, you had only sort of gotten back into riding pretty recently when we initially met.
Last November.
Even just seeing how much you've learned of your curiosity and wanting to delve into all things horse related, because again, I think we're both just still those little girls at heart that just want to do everything horsey. And
and that's why I love the name of the podcast too. The Bridle Club, because just a little nod to the Saddle Club, which I watched. Did you watch the Saddle Club?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like all the, like the books, everything.
Books are good.
Our
generation, right?
I know. Now I'm always doing audiobooks or podcasts. But yes, I used to love reading anything horse related as well. Just been a lifelong horse addict.
We'll dive more into that in future episodes. Talk about what we're doing, but this is just our kind of introductory episode.
Yes.
It's exciting. And then, you know, someone else is going to edit all this. It's going to be great. And hopefully we'll just spit it out in our YouTube, Spotify, and we'll put some clips on Instagram.
Yes. And where can people find you, Megan, if they're looking for you on socials?
I'm building my sort of equestrian social media presence under meganhalgren.ec. And your social?
So you can find me at Lavas Equestrian, LOVAS, or at Highland Saddles.
So you guys will be hearing a lot of whys, a lot of questions, a lot of everything as we do more episodes and
hopefully bring you guys some amazing guests so you can educate yourselves and feel really great about the time that you're spending with your horse or the horses that you ride, the horses that are in your care, and just feel like you have more tools in your tool belt to be the best horse person you can be.
Yeah. Totally.
Fabulous.
I'm getting straight to the barn for a lesson.
Yes.
Excited for that.
Yeah.
So really in my breeches, ready to go.
I was going to say we're both ready to roll because we also run at the same barn. Yeah. Just fabulous. You have two adorable chestnut boys.
Yeah, we got pictures last night. That was really fun with the iced coffee. So we'll be posting those on our social.
Look for us. Just look for Megan. Okay, well, thank you for joining us, and thanks so much for suggesting this thing. I'm so excited. Excellent. Okay, well, we'll see you all next week.
We'll see you guys next week.
Awesome. Happy riding.
Bye.